Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved empire, to today's video, where you and I are going to be ranking all the characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes from the very best to the very worst. The first and original ranking for Star Wars Galaxies that we have upheld for many years. And I want to thank you guys for all of your support that you've given this. Last time we made this video in April 2021, we got over 5 billion likes. Let's see if we can dominate that record today. So make sure you dominate that like button by smashing it. And for good measure, smash it one more time. What do you mean if you smash it twice, it unlikes the video? Well, smash it a third time for good measure. Now, in case you don't have the time, Gary put the graphic on the screen for them. If you want to see right away how I think all the characters rank right now in the game, and there's a link down below in the video description if you want a copy of this yourself. The save on your holopad. And before we go in depth on all the rankings, why don't we highlight what has changed in the past couple of months? Well, of course, we've had the new Galactic Legend Obi-Wan Kenobi and Lord Vader, which really shake things up, especially for the Galactic Republic and some Imperial units on the field. We rounded out the rest of the Bad Batch crew and we saw the potential and greatness that the Bad Batch brought in 2021. Commander Ahsoka Tano as well has been added, and she is really the cherry on top for Master Kenobi, let me tell you. But a moment of silence because we've also had the great nerf of 2021, which we're trying to forget still to this day. Please join me with the moment of silence.
It's been a long time since I've cried.
And of course, Relic Knight, as well as some buffs that happened to Galactic Legends, and now we're starting to transition back into Mandalorian with Fennec Shand. And one more point to note, even though in about 1 week Maul will be unlocked, we are not ranking him today because I have not tested him personally. Now, we have seen some gameplay of Maul lingering out there, coming from test accounts that developers gave to certain creators. But you know me, I need to test it myself before I give you an honest opinion on these characters here. So if that sounds like a lot to talk about, sit down, relax, smash that like button 2 more times, and let's get this show on the road. So let's start ourselves in the Youngling category. Now, normally we just skip right on past this tier right here, the worst of the worst in Galaxy of Heroes in my opinion. However, few things have changed since the last time we made this video. Master Kenobi and Lord Vader have really shaken up a lot of characters that normally are considered useless, but now they're becoming a lot more viable. With Master Kenobi, technically anything that is Galactic Republic jumped up in viability, whether you're a tank or anything else out there. So you can mentally give every Galactic Republic a +1. However, to remember, we're looking at standalone character viability, not integrating ships, because ships would really mess up our understanding of some characters' viability. And when you see the +1, 2, or 3, that means a character increases a certain amount of ranks depending on what team they're placed in. And about 3 characters I want to talk about in the Youngling category. Firstly, the Jedi Knight Guardian, one of the trashiest characters in Galaxy Heroes history ever since day 1. However, with the addition of Master Kenobi and Jedi Knight Guardian being considered a tank, we have seen some crazy combos of Jedi Knight Guardian and Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, where you can pretty much create a permanent taunting situation on things like the Jedi Knight Guardian. Because she is so dang slow, you can use that to your advantage to make her taunt for pretty much the whole entire team, the whole entire battle. Even things like Mace Windu got a little bit more viable. We are finally adding a +1 modifier to Mace Windu, because even in the Master Kenobi lineup, you can get some things done because he's a tank. You can make him taunt. But really, we got to talk about one character that is no longer in the Youngling category and has gotten promoted, and that is the Royal Guard, which leads us to the Padawan category. Now, as you guys know, the Padawan category generally consists of characters that don't really have a lot of great viability in general, nonetheless, even standalone viability, but they are slightly better than the Youngling category. But as you'll note in the Padawan section, you're going to find lots and lots of characters that get tons of modifiers that jump up several tiers, and I don't want to keep you in suspense any longer. That Royal Guard had gotten a minor buff in the past few months here, mainly in preparation for Lord Vader, and is really meant to be dedicated to Lord Vader, and very much so like the First Order Stormtrooper to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. The Royal Guard is critical for the Lord Vader lineup. Significant buffs that make him deadly in a Lord Vader lineup, so technically he can jump up 3 tiers when in the appropriate lineup, that being Lord Vader, and he could technically be a Grandmaster character when paired with Lord Vader. However, he's got some pretty decent viability with other Imperial type of lineups. Maybe not Grandmaster type of viability, but you can throw him, for example, with Grand Admiral Thrawnlee, Emperor Palpatine, getting some use out of the guy that might bump up to a Knight or Master level category. Also new in the Padawan category, we got to see a lot more Bad Batch characters since April 2021, and we really got to appreciate how dang good they are. One note of changes: before we had Hunter and Tech add the Padawan category with the +2 modifier, but with the rest of the Bad Batch crew, they are easily one of the best non-legendary teams in the game, and we brought it up to a +3 modifier due to the sheer amount of non-galactic legends teams they can beat out there. However, not all Bad Batch characters were created equal, and we got to talk about the high single fire damage character herself, Omega. We're throwing her into Padawan category. Luckily, she's got the clone trooper tag that makes her mildly plug and play, but there are just so many other better clone troopers in place Omega if you're trying to make a Shakti clone lineup of some sort potentially. And even in the Bad Batch crew, yes, we're giving her a +1. She is a Knight level character when thrown in the Bad Batch crew, but as we talked about extensively, she doesn't really make the Bad Batch team better. She just kind of fits in there awkwardly, sitting in the back of the row. As of now, Omega seems to be kind of a passable character, not needed for any legendary stuff out there, but who knows, maybe down the road we'll come to appreciate her more, or she might be required for something. Now that we know there's a Bad Batch Season 2 sometime around the corner. Now let's talk about our middle of the run characters in Galaxy Heroes, the Knight category. Here you're gonna find characters that have some pretty decent all-around plug-and-play vibe that can be used in a variety of situations, whether it's because of their kit, their damage. And new to this list, we added Wrecker and Fennec Shand. Wrecker is a little bit better of a plug-and-play character compared to the rest of the Bad Batch crew, because he's got a taunt, and he's got things that benefit all clones in general, and we even threw a +2 modifier on the guy, because if you plug him in, of course, with the Bad Batch crew, or even more so, with Jedi Master Kenobi. Jedi Master Kenobi with the Bad Batch is a god-level team in this game. He's extremely durable. Under that Master Kenobi lead, he is a force to be reckoned with, and he can eat sudden whirlwinds for breakfast from Rey due to the sheer amount of extra health and protection he gets. And Fennec is a bit newer to the game. We're still learning about her, but even before we see where she and the others might lead to down the road, she's a fairly good middle-of-the-rung bounty hunter character that puts out some fairly good damage all around, has some good standalone viability because that is kind of the whole main gist of her leader ability, and she really can help those bounty hunters get some good contracts paid off, which can bring her to the Master category for beating things like General Anakin Skywalker and Darth Revan's. But we can't leave the Knight category just yet because there's a couple of other things that I want to bring to your guys' attention. Again, we gotta be cognizant of Master Kenobi and Lord Vader, so we increased a couple of modifiers on a few characters. For example, Baby Ahsoka Tano used to be a +1. We brought up to a +2. She is an absolute staple to the Master Kenobi crew with the constant assisting, which will help Commander Ahsoka Tano reduce her cooldowns a lot more, but also supercharges the ultimate ability charge for Master Kenobi. But very much so how Ahsoka Tano is kind of important for Master Kenobi. Yet we also increase his modifier by 2, because if you can't afford it, he is absolutely fantastic with the Lord Vader crew. Throwing that mark on Lord Vader, and you got yourself one of the most durable characters inside of the game. But don't forget, even before Lord Vader, Piet is an absolute must-have for those Imperial troopers. So even without Lord Vader, he's easily a master level character when plugged into an Imperial trooper lineup. And one other minor thing to note, Ki-Adi-Mundi, he's becoming a lot more useful with Master Kenobi, and you also could use him in Jedi Knight Revan lineups. I use him a lot in Jedi Master Luke lineups. But now we gotta talk about bad news, the things that makes Chewbacca wanna cry. And that's gonna lead us into the Master category, where we have to talk about that Gungan in the room, the great nerf of 2021. Join with me in the whale, Kraken, and Holy R, and Jesus, give me the strength to talk about Darth Vader. Darth Vader! We used to praise this character. He got a huge buff in 2020, which made him what I call the best non-galactic legend character in the game. He wasn't even legendary, a free-to-play accessible character that pretty much everyone gets for free as a participation trophy. And he was an absolute mad lad, being able to counter every single galactic legend that existed at the time. However, unfortunately, the developers were not happy with free-to-play peasants feeding the biggest toys in the chest. And unfortunately, he had the biggest direct nerf, and I can no longer say with confidence that this guy is a Grand Master character. Now, although I do believe he is still a Master level character, it's just not the same, and I feel bad for anyone starting the game at this point moving forward because you weren't able to truly understand or witness or experience yourself the power that was Darth Vader in the past. However, nonetheless, he can still pretty much beat every other non-galactic legend team to an extent. Not General Anakin Skywalker, but you can slightly sometimes beat a Darth Revan team a lot more difficult than before. Other minor change, Grand Admiral Thrawn also getting knocked down from the Grandmaster status to master. Still a fantastic plug-and-play character. One of the best plug-and-play characters that Galaxy has to offer. But the fact that he can no longer control Galactic Legends like he used to with that fracture just has taken away so much viability from Thrawn. However, on a slightly happier note, let's talk about the last member of the Bad Batch crew, the character that I firmly believe really brought the Bad Batch all together, and that is Echo. He is by far one of the best plug-and-play characters that are offered from the Bad Batch crew. He is one of the fastest characters in the game, and without even putting god-tier mods on him, he can practically outrun every single type of team that exists out there, except those Galactic Legends, of course. Apply a daze on everyone. Bad Batch is one of the best things that happened in 2021, and they're needed for Lord Vader with the exception of Omega. In my opinion, Bad Batch is the second best non-legendary team in the game, and a lot of these clones offered lots of plug-and-play viability, and when you put them together, they form something really, really special. And now, second to last, we gotta talk about the Grand Master category, which used to be the highest honor that could be bestowed upon a character until the Galactic Legends decided to show up to the playground. It's a lot skinnier than it was before, with Vader and Thrawn now out of the mix. How about the other characters in the game? The Great Nerf of 2021, yes, had the biggest impact on Vader and Thrawn, but also affected things like Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, General Anakin Skywalker, and Wat Tambor. From a factual perspective, they are just worse than they are before the nerf of 2021. However, we are in a new dawn, a new day, and a new life for Galaxy Vero. So you have to look at where the whole picture is right now. And yes, although not as good as they were before, in the current meta landscape of Galaxy Heroes, these are still great plug-and-play characters. And of course, they are even better when put in the right lineups. Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker with Jedi Master Luke Skywalker or Jedi Knight Revan. General Anakin Skywalker, I will say he is not as good of a standalone character as he was before. Those cooldown increases, the AoE dazes, but really where he really shines most is the 501st team got better up against the Galactic Legends team because he's able to get up a lot faster from his nap time. He is still deserving of a Grand Master status in the game, in my opinion. And then there's Wat Tambor, which actually just got worse and nothing got added in the make up for the nerf. His blast tech mod is pretty much trash at this point, but still the ability to make anyone taunt on the team is still something highly important. And of course, although the blast tech mod is not nearly as useful as before, getting tons of Terminator is still nice to have for certain characters out there. Literally, Wat Tambor is the king plug and play character in Galaxy, and it's gonna be really hard to replace that guy anytime soon. But new to the list is Commander Ahsoka Tano, the Conquest exclusive character. We're still waiting on details. How are we gonna get this character free to play outside of Conquest? But nonetheless, she is a great plug and play character for nearly any type of Scoundrel, Galactic Republic, and other type of light side teams out there. And she's got an insta kill ability, which is nice having any type of team. But when you put her in the right type of team, that insta kill becomes a lot more quickly. And when you put her in that Galactic Legend Master Kenobi lineup, she has the fastest insta kill that this game has to offer. Within the first few seconds of the game, if you don't like how someone looked at you, delete them right away. Beyond that, her stat sharing capabilities are huge. She is great for Master Kenobi, of course, but she is also god tier in a Rain lineup, making Rey's ultimate ability, sudden whirlwinds, and the damage across board be a little bit more scary because they share the unaligned force user lover 360 no scope. What the heck did they call it now? The UFU tech. Commander Ahsoka Tano has a bright future ahead. I think she's gonna be incredible for a very long time in this game. And I'm certain that Maul will join the ranks soon inside of the Grandmaster categories. If I had to guess, he's probably gonna be a Grandmaster character, really taking Lord Vader to the next level that he needs to be at. But also, Maul looks to have a lot of plug and play viability and might bring to life the Mandalorian faction a little bit more. But then we gotta talk about the obvious stuff, the Galactic Legends. They have their own category, and of course, new to this list, if you haven't guessed by now, is Lord Vader and Master Kenobi. Now, we aren't gonna rank the Galactic Legends among themselves now, but in the grand scheme of the game, Galactic Legends are Galactic Legends. They are factually, some of them are better than others, and that'll be saved for another video. I want to wait to get Maul so I can give Lord Vader a more honest review and make sure I cover all angles before we rank all the Galactic Legends among each other like we did last year in 2020. But no matter which Galactic Legend you have, they are just simply top tier in the game. But right now, Master Kenobi, in my opinion, you guys have heard it many times, I feel like he is the absolute best Galactic Legend in the game right now, the king of turn meter control. And turn meter is one of the most important things in the game. Tons of damage, tons of assisting, tons of durability, buffs galore, tons of ultimate ability being used over and over again. And he's useful in every single type of content in the game, excluding ships, I suppose. And I guess the assault battles that simply don't invite Kenobi into the party. Lord Vader takes a little bit more love than Master Kenobi for sure, and as we said before, we have to wait till we get Maul to really understand Lord Vader, but Lord Vader is just an okay galactic legend right now, but nonetheless, a galactic legend is a galactic legend at the end of the day, and it's a big deal whenever you do get one unlocked. And we haven't really talked about it much in this video, but Relic 9 is pretty fresh on the streets right now, and Master Luke Skywalker definitively is the character that had the best buff when it came to Relic 9, making him deal massive damage for his team. Tons of durability on this guy. Definitely the clearest winner right now when it comes to Relic 9 in the game. And that's gonna wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for the lovely people out there. Let's put it on the screen. As always, thank you so much for your unending support to this series. One of the first things that I really believe gave an identity to this channel is ranking all the characters in Star Wars Galaxy series, and it's great to see 6 years later we are keeping the tradition strong. Leave a like, comment down below on all your thoughts. How would you rank characters a little bit differently, or just join with me in reminiscing on the good old days when Darth Vader was one of the kings inside of Galaxy heroes? As always, thank you so much for being here today, and I'll catch you in the next video, but I feel like we're forgetting something. Oh, that's right. Always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.